Hey there! Welcome back to Travel Assurance NZ. If you are a skilled worker from a country where English is not your first language, you have probably asked this very important question. Can I get a work visa for New Zealand without having to take the IELTS test? The short and honest answer is yes, it is very possible. While many people think that the IELTS test is a mandatory step for any work visa, that is not always the case. There are several ways that you can prove your English language ability without taking the IELTS test. For many of the most common visas, you may not need to take a test at all. This video is specifically for you. I'm going to walk you through the truth about the English language requirement, how you can prove your English skills without an IELTS score, and what specific visas you can apply for. To make sure you don't miss any of the vital details that could affect your application, please watch this video all the way to the end. I will also provide links to all the relevant websites mentioned in the video description. And if as you watch, you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Travel Assurance NZ for more videos like this one. Alright, let's begin. Understanding the English language requirement. First, let's understand why Immigration New Zealand has an English language requirement. The government wants to make sure that people who come to work in New Zealand can communicate easily in the workplace and in their daily lives. This is for your own safety and for a smoother integration into the community. However, Immigration New Zealand understands that the IELTS test is not the only way to show you can speak English. In many cases, your background and education are enough. The rules are very clear on this. The most common visa, the Accredited Employer Work Visa, AEWV. The most common work visa for people coming to New Zealand is the Accredited Employer Work Visa, or AEWV. For this visa, there is no official English language requirement for the main applicant, which is you. This is a huge point that many people do not know. You do not need to provide an IELTS test score to apply for an AEWV. This is different from other visas, like the Skilled Migrant Resident Visa, which often requires a higher standard of English. For the AEWV, the employer is responsible for making sure you have a sufficient level of English to do the job. The employer will assess your English during the interview process. If you can speak and understand English well enough to communicate in the workplace, then you are ready. However, a work visa application for the AEWV can still be affected by the English proficiency of your partner and children. If your partner or children are applying for a visa to join you, they may need to show they have a certain level of English. But for you, the main applicant, the AEWV does not have a formal English test requirement. Other work visas and alternatives to IELTS. While the AEWV is the most common work visa that does not require IELTS, other visas do have an English language requirement. For these visas, you don't always need to take the IELTS test. Here are the ways you can prove your English language ability without an IELTS score. 1. Being a citizen of an English-speaking country. If you are a citizen of one of the following countries, you are automatically considered to have met the English language requirement: Australia, Canada, Fiji, Hong Kong, Republic of Ireland, Kenya, Malawi, Malta, New Zealand, Nigeria, Papua New Guinea, the Philippines, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Singapore, South Africa, United Kingdom, United States of America, Zambia, Zimbabwe too. Having a qualification from an English-speaking country. If you have a qualification that is at least a bachelor's degree or a qualification of a similar level, and you completed this qualification in one of the countries listed above, then you are considered to have met the requirement. The education provider must have taught the qualification entirely in English. 3. Having work experience in an English-speaking country. If you have worked in a full-time, skilled job for at least 12 months in one of the countries listed above, then this can also be used as proof. The job must have been a job where you communicated in English. 4. Having a qualification in English. If your qualification was a bachelor's degree or higher, and the entire course was taught in English, you can use this as proof. You must get a letter from the education provider to confirm that the course was taught in English. 5. Other approved English tests. If you cannot meet any of the above conditions and you are applying for a visa that requires proof of English, you do not have to take the IELTS test. Immigration New Zealand also accepts several other tests such as PTE Academic, Cambridge, English, C1 Advanced, OET, TOEFL, IBT. Each test has a different score that you must achieve to be considered to have met the requirement. This is another great visa that does not require an English test. If you are between the ages of 18 and 30, or up to 35 for some countries, you can apply for a working holiday visa. This visa allows you to come to New Zealand and do any type of work for up to 12 months. This is a very popular way to get a foot in the door in New Zealand. You can find the link to the website for working holiday visas in the description below. Also check out the video I previously made about the working holiday visa on this channel to get the complete gist. So if you are planning to apply for a work visa without IELTS, here is what you should do. Step 1. Check your eligibility for an exemption. First, see if you are a citizen of one of the English-speaking countries I mentioned. Second, check if you have a qualification that was taught in English. Third, check if you have worked in an English-speaking country for at least 12 months. If you can answer yes to any of these, you may not need to take a test for most visas. Step 2. Focus on the AEWV. The AEWV is your best option. Focus your energy on finding a job from an accredited employer. Use job websites like Seek and Trade Me Jobs to find jobs in your field. Make sure your CV and cover letter are professional and highlight your skills. The most important thing is to be able to communicate well in your interviews. This will show the employer that you have enough English to do the job. Step 3. Apply for the job. If an employer offers you the job, they will start the AEWV process. The employer will assess your English during the interview. If you pass, they will not ask you to take an IELTS test. You can mention in your cover letter or during the interview that you are confident in your English skills and that you believe you meet the requirements for the AEWV without a formal test. Step 4. The visa application. Once the employer gives you the AEWV token, you will apply for your visa online. The visa application form will ask you about your English language ability. You will answer truthfully. If you are a citizen of an English-speaking country, you will simply state this. If you have a qualification in English, you will provide the details of your degree and the education provider. You will not need to upload an IELTS certificate. In conclusion, you absolutely can get a work visa for New Zealand without an IELTS test. For the most common work visa, the AEWV, there is no formal English language requirement for you, the main applicant. For other visas, there are many ways to prove your English ability without having to take a test. The key is to know which visa you are applying for and what evidence is accepted. I hope this video has given you a clear and honest picture of how to get a work visa in New Zealand without an IELTS test. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to Travel Assurance NZ, and share this video with anyone you think might need it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.